My dog in front of my face.
Encounter with Jesus again.
Yes. He's like, John, man, Jesus is real. And I'm sitting there in front of him. I say, Nero, Jesus real, bro? He said, yeah. I say, bro, Jesus real, bro? He said, yeah. Nero, bro, Jesus is real, bro? I asked him like 5 times. And every time he just soft spoken. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he's real. And I'm just like this. Thinking about everything. Thinking about my encounter. Thinking about the new age religion I was just following. I'm just thinking. I say, Nero, bro, tell me Jesus real, bro? He real? He like, John, he real, bro. Man, I went up to the room. I repented for my sins. And ever since then, I've been on fire.
Every second that escapes without you here with me keeps my heart anticipating till I finally see you.
When I made my vows, I told God that I was going to take care of this gift.
All my life I've been waiting for you. Girl, you know I've been praying for you. Been writing these love letters to you.
So I fight for that future in the present. You know what I'm saying?
That was good, Ken.
Congratulations to the ones who found love, for the hope and new beginnings from heaven above. I await my future wifey. I pray that it won't be too long, too long. Every second that...
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. I'm your host, LaTerras R. Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Listen, when I ask y'all to subscribe, I really mean that. You know, when you subscribe to Dear Future Wifey Podcast, not only are you the first to hear about upcoming events, you'll hear when we drop a video, but it also helps with the YouTube algorithms so more people can learn about the podcast that you love so much. Also, click on the link in the description so you can sign up for the mailing list. I have some exciting things that are about to take place. I'm about to launch a Patreon, since a lot of y'all have been asking me, LaTerras, when you gonna do a Patreon? And for years, I've just been, I've been opposed to it, but I realized that I want to bring y'all more into my personal life. And so I'm gonna be releasing the Patreon so y'all can check that out. Today's episode is interesting. You know, I always love when I get a chance to talk to my brothers. You know, a lot of y'all always say, what are men thinking? And y'all ask for me to bring more men on the podcast. Well, this brother is quite fascinating, to say the least. Without further ado, welcome to the Dear Future Wifey Podcast, John Hill Jr., a.k.a. Holy Gabbana. What's up, King?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Man, we here now?
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
So listen, you and I have been talking about coming on the podcast. How long? How long has it been?
An hour?
No, I ain't talking about today. I'm talking about what we've talked about over the last few months. Wait, you remember when I first reached out to you?
Barely.
Holy Gabbana, listen. You don't remember when I reached out to you, what was that, back in November?
Okay.
November last year?
Was it? I'm not sure. I have to check the messages.
Well, let me tell you something. Your mind just gone, huh? You don't remember stuff no more?
Well, my mind's not gone. It's just in the Lord.
It's in the Lord?
It's in the Lord. I keep my mind in the Lord. I focus on the present and the future. So all I know is we did have a conversation like a week ago, and I'm here.
So we can go. So listen, so we had you popped up in my timeline. I had a friend that told me she shared a video about you. That was last year, and she was like, this brother here used to be out there real bad, and now he's on fire for God. When people say you were out there bad, give context to that. Share with the people who may not know who Holy Gabbana is now. What God has brought you through.
Man, I don't think I'm the only one with that testimony.
Oh, yes, you are. You with that type of testimony?
Nah.
Yes, you are.
How many people could say they had a perfect path?
No, but your perfect is different. Yours.
Nah, I know, but my testimony is my testimony. But I'm saying I don't think I'm the only one with the testimony, as in he was out there.
Well, of course, you ain't the only one that was out there, but you was wilding out. So what was your testimony? Share with the people what your testimony was.
I'm just saying, like, when people say that, I'm like, well, you was out there too. Don't act like you've been a saint all your life.
But think about it, what they didn't see, and you shared that when we was eating breakfast today, that most people didn't record it and put it out there on social media.
Yeah, that's facts. But I just be like, when I hear that, it's like ring a bell.
Ring a bell like what?
It's just like, we all been out there at some point of our lives.
So when you think about that, put context around it. You don't think, and you and I had a conversation about when you look back at yourself, you couldn't even believe some of the stuff that you were doing. True? And recording it.
No, that is an absolute fact.
And recording it.
When I see myself, when I look at an old video of myself, I'd be like, wow, I can't believe that was me. But at the same time, how you just introduced me and you was like, I was out there. I know you probably share a similar past, not in what I was doing, but as being out there.
So that's why I said we're going to put context on it. So that's the reason I said out there is your story has been recorded. You promoted it.
I was for sure out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
for sure
yes, we all have a story. I've shared with you my own personal story, but I'm talking about your story was extreme. You wouldn't think it was extreme to you. But people that you know personally.
Okay, like I shared with you, I would say my story would be like, them were my college days, even though I never went to college. I never went to college, but them were my college days because I blew up at 20 years old. I was 20 going on 21. So I would say, man, I really gained the name for myself probably like 3 months before I turned 21.
3 months.
3-4 months before I turned 21. I was that whole year, 2017, I was really pursuing fame. And then I would say I really gained the name for myself probably like 3 months before I turned 21. And then when I turned 21, a week after, I moved to LA. Yeah, but
moved from LA from where?
From Florida.
From Florida.
So I would say that whole time period from 20 to 24. Remember, I told you 24 was when I really like snapped back into reality.
Yeah.
So I was 20 to 24, 21, 24. It was like
so
my college.
Like
my college years. In my college days.
So for people don't know, what was you doing? What was you doing when you call your college days?
I was in the streets, but in my college days. I was just so I made a name for myself, Boonk Gang. It was just, that name means running off on the plug, running off on people, stealing somebody's stuff. But I just, wrecking stores, fighting, drugs, smashing chicks online, drinking. Like I say, college stuff. It's college stuff.
Without the books.
Without the books. Without the professors.
But no, you was getting booked, all right. You was just getting booked in jail.
In jail. I was supposed to be in my dorm room.
Yeah, the different dorm room.
Yeah.
It was in prison cell.
Yeah, in jail cell. Hey, that's a good way we can articulate it,
Yeah.
So yeah, spending time in my dorm. Well, yeah, just spending time.
And you was getting
dorm.
booked, but it wasn't you wasn't reading books. You was getting booked.
Spending a lot of time with my professor, the judge. Always with the judge. Yeah.
Oh, with your report card was your criminal record. Your
colleagues.
Your colleagues. Your inmates.
yeah. Having fun in college, man. The college life.
He said my college days.
Yeah, college days.
You told me it was just so interesting. I just said, what in the world? You got kicked off of Instagram because you was recording yourself having sex with different chicks.
Yeah, on Instagram.
And you had gained about 5 million.
Oh, yeah, I had a following of 5 mil.
5 million. And you gained 2.5 in 4 months.
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah, which I didn't even know. And like I mentioned, I watched my very first interview a couple of days ago, just to see the mind frame I was in at the time.
You were 21 in that video.
I just turned 21 in that video. It was 2 months after I turned 21. So my birthday is August 3rd. I turned 21. Following week, I moved to LA. October, I had my very first interview for the first time with Vlad, and I just watched the video just to see the mindset I was in.
Yeah.
And I sometimes when people come up to me about my past, I would feel a certain type of way, and I just wanted to see the person I was upset with. Because when I talk to people who come to me seeking advice, I try to have empathy and compassion for that person.
Good.
And tell them, hey, it's okay. God still loves you. He forgives you. He has a plan. And I try to encourage them.
Good.
But when I hear about my past, I'm like, it made me feel some type of way. But when I was at home, I was thinking, I'm like, why don't I have that same compassion towards myself?
There it is.
Why don't I show that same love and mercy to myself? So I went to watch my video to see the person I was upset with. As a man of God, I shouldn't even have that in my heart. Yeah, I'm a human and I'm broken, and it's okay for me to be broken because that means God is still working me. He's still shaping me. And so it's okay for me not to be complete just yet. But there are some things in my walk that I should be past. That for me, I feel like I should be past, and I'm not. But honestly, for me to even make that conscious choice to do that, I'm moving forward.
Good.
I'm progressing there. So I just wanted to see the person that I feel some type of way with.
And
so,
what did you see when you saw that?
Man, I just seen a kid who just lacked understanding, no guidance, just wanted to fit in and had no experience. That's all I seen. I seen a kid with no experience, 21 years old. Trying to be cool. That's all I seen.
I don't know what's going on, but doesn't it feel like this year is going by extremely fast? Okay, is it just me, or does it feel like between social media or life in general, there's a ton of distractions? Have you ever thought about what you would need to do in order to become who you want to be? One word: clarity. I'm LaTerras R. Whitfield, and I partner with my friends again at I Can't Wait to Travel for a clarity retreat so that we can get clear. I want you to escape with me to Cancun, Mexico at the Unico 2087 Riviera Maya on September the 26th to the 29th. My homie David Burris, Christian life and relationship coach, and I will be facilitating workshops to help you begin to focus only on those things of importance so that you can thrive in all areas of your life. What are you waiting for? Go to ican'twaittotravel.com, click on the tab that says Group Trips, and join me on the Clarity Retreat. It's time to get clear. And during that time, your career goal was what?
No goal, just fame.
Just want to be famous for whatever.
Yeah. At the end of that video, I said, one day I have to die. The interviewer told me to be careful. I said, we all have to die someday. The interviewer said, yeah, but you don't want to die before your time. And I said, well, I don't want to die soon, but I'm going to die one day. I don't know what I'm going to die for, but I want to make a name for myself. I said, I don't know what I'm going to be known for at the end of my life, but I want to be known for something. I'm going to be known for something.
But you didn't know what that something was.
Nah. No.
And at that time, why were they doing an interview? What had you become known for at that time?
Boonk Gang.
So being a viral sensation, doing illegal stuff and just wilding out and just doing just crazy pranks and just everything.
Yeah.
But what made that come about? What made you say, what was the first video
let
that you
me tell
recorded?
you. So, okay, I'm a cool person, right? And I get along with everybody. But when it boils down to it, I wouldn't say that I'm just a comical person. Like, that has never been a dream of mine. Comedy has never ever been a dream of mine.
Yeah.
And in my first interview, I remember telling the interviewer, I said, this is something I'm just doing temporarily. This is something that I'm not interested in doing. I'm just doing this to get a name for myself.
Okay.
Because I seen that this people love foolishness, and this outlet is the easiest way to reach my goal, fame.
Yep.
So that's all I'm doing this for. But I lost my train of thought.
You said you was doing it for fame. You said you told the interviewer.
But before that,
where you were talking about the whole. I asked you what made you do your first video.
That's
what
right.
was your first video?
That's right. Okay. So I was sitting at the house. I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is a rap page. Cause that's what I only had an Instagram account. I didn't have no social media back then, just an Instagram account. And I created Instagram just to promote my music. So as I'm scrolling through my feed, I see a man named Fatboy SSE. He what he doing? He's screaming. He throwing something, but I look at the views, he had like 1 million views. I click on his page, I go through his page, homie flashing a lot of money. And all his videos is just straight tomfoolery, just foolishness. And I'm looking, I'm like, at this time I'm 20.
Yeah.
I'm looking, I'm like, dang. Man, this is all you got to do to get this much money.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I'm working at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at I had a second job at my second job was McDonald's. My main job was Miami Airport.
Okay.
I'm from Jacksonville, but I graduated. After I graduated, I stayed 2 years at home in Jacksonville. Then 1920, I moved to Miami to go live with my mom. So I'm working she got me a job with her husband, her new husband. And he was a contractor at the Miami International Airport. So that was my main job. And I got a second job at McDonald's. But I'm sitting on the couch, my mama couch, on Instagram. And I see this man flashing a whole lot of money, being a fool, screaming Fatboy Gang. I say, boy, that's all you got to do? It scream Fatboy Gang, and you make that much money? Man, Fatboy Gang, it's Boonk Gang. It's Boonk Gang, boy.
And that's where Boonk Gang came from. But the word Boonk came from where?
It came from my mama.
And your mama called you that since as long as you remember.
Yeah.
And you said you never even liked that name.
I never liked that name.
You said it was a story from your uncle, and your uncle said what happened?
My uncle, he because when after I made that name famous, and I really started to hate that name, I wanted to detach myself from that name. My uncle, he was like, man, I remember when you was a kid, your mama was like, boom, you came out the room talking about something. My name is John Hill Jr. It's not Boonk. So I don't remember that. I was 5.
Yeah.
But my uncle, he shared that with me.
And Boonk means what?
Blunt laced with cocaine.
And that's what your mom was calling you as a kid.
But when I was a kid, it didn't have no definition.
But so that's not even a word.
It wasn't.
Your mom just said Boonk. It was just like she just made that up?
I found the definition. Yes, I found the definition for it when I was in middle school, and it was a blunt laced with coke.
You went and searched for it. You went and Googled that
Man,
word.
I used to search that name all the time because I didn't understand why. I knew my name was John.
And your
Why
mama,
was she calling me Boonk? So I used to ask her that all the time, like, why are you calling me Boonk? Because I know my name, John. So I used to spend nights Googling that, like trying to find what does it mean. And I finally found the definition for it when I was in middle school. And it was a blunt laced with cocaine.
Isn't that crazy? She was calling you that, and drugs began to be a vice in your life.
Yeah, man. And I became very addicted to it when I got older. But I never knew what it meant. But I started going with it because after I seen Fat Boy make them videos, you know, like I told you, I wanted to use my name, but I didn't know how to make John sound cool.
Right.
So I'm like, man, just bump it. I'm going to just use Boonk. You know, I'm going to just use it. And honestly, I never planned on using it forever. It's just, I was going to use it. I just wanted to use it then because I didn't know. Like, I try to stay away from corny. You know, I'm allergic to corny. So,
Talking about you ain't a comedian.
yeah, man, I'm allergic to corny, dog. You know, but I'm like, man, I can't use John. I'm gonna just use Boonk.
Can't have people scream John Hill. You know what I'm saying? And then ring like, what you say, Fat Boy?
It was a famous John Hill already, a skater.
Oh,
Yeah, a famous John Hill skater. So yeah, man, I just like, man, bump it. I'm gonna just use Boonk and just run with it. And I'm like, I remember making videos. I'm like, man, F Fat Boy Gang, it's Boonk Gang.
Oh, you said that in the video?
Yeah. You know, he was the only one doing what he was doing. And you know, but he inspired me because I seen all that money.
So what was the first video you remember recording?
Me making my own food in Popeyes. I went and stole a 2-piece. Yeah, man.
Hold on. What you mean you made your own food at Popeye? What you mean?
Bruh. I was on live. Actually, I remember telling my brother, I said, bro, I got an idea. Nah, for real. I'm like, bro. I say, bro, I'm about to do something totally different. I say, watch this. So I went on live after I seen Fat Boy content. I went on live. I say, man, I'ma just start doing wild stuff. Man, what's something y'all never seen before? Something y'all never seen before. Man, people was commenting. Somebody said, go make your own food in Popeyes. I seen it. I'm like, what? Bet. The very next day I went and did it.
You just climbed over the counter and started putting your food in the box?
Nah, I didn't climb over the counter. What happened was, honestly, I've never done nothing like this before. And I was nervous. I was scared.
So you never gotten in trouble at this point?
No, yeah, I had like a lot of petty thefts.
Okay.
From when I was in high school, because I used to steal new clothes and new shoes and stuff like that. Because my mama, she stopped providing for me at like 15. So I'm like, man, bump that. I can't keep going to school getting laughed at.
Yep.
I just started stealing clothes, stealing shoes. I was stealing headphones, selling them in school, stealing candy, selling it in school. So just doing petty hustling, trying to, get me some new stuff. So, and I got caught numerous of times. So I had trespassing, petty theft. So I've been in trouble before, but I've never done nothing like that. Just go in a establishment and make your own food. But I seen that, like, dang. So the next day, 20 years I didn't have no car, barely had any bread. But I'm walking. Me and my brother, we walk to the nearest Popeyes. We walking, and when we get closer, I start working myself up, like mentally, just preparing myself. And then I say, bruh, just record. Don't start recording me. Just record. We walk in. I say, man, y'all always messing up my mother order. I ordered the same thing when I come here. People like, who is that? Who is you? Who that? I walk in the back. I just walk past with a counter. I just walk past. I grab one of the
little tongs.
Yeah, grab the tongs, grab the container. I said, man, I ordered a 2-piece and a biscuit. Y'all forget my biscuit. Put the chicken in there, put the food in there. They like, record him. Oh no, they like, he recording. He trying to be funny. And they like, follow. Call the police. Oh, you doing all this to go to jail? I said, yeah, call them police. Call them. Yeah, y'all forget my food. And then, I'm just capping, just making stuff up. Well, I'm making stuff up. Yeah, improvising. Call the police. Boy.
What you say, you were improvising?
Yeah. So we walk out of Popeyes. The whole crew just following me. They like, get his tag. I walk. Ain't no tag to get. They follow me. We cross the street. I'm like, we walk. Then they eventually stop. And then we just hit it. And then we chilled behind the U-Haul place. And then I uploaded the video. And we just sat there, chilled for a little minute. The next day, my sister, within the same day, my sister, she called me. She like, man, why you did that store like that? She like, send me that video. I sent it to her. She uploaded it on her Facebook.
Oh, she uploaded it.
She uploaded it on Facebook. I uploaded it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And she asked for the video so she could repost it. So she posted it on Facebook. Somebody else took it off her Facebook page and posted it on theirs. She called me the next day. She like, bro, you famous. I go on the internet. I see my video everywhere. Boy.
That's all you need. That was that dopamine rush, huh?
Boy, something clicked in my mind. I say, what? Man, I had so many celebrities reposting me, Warstar posting me, Shade Room posting me, rappers posting me, actors posting me, comedians posting me. Like everybody. I'm like, what? Oh, it's on.
That's all you need to see, huh?
It's on. It's on.
The addiction to fame. And then from that thing next, how long did it take for you to make your next video?
Man, I'm making them thing every day. But I used to go home and I used to sit here and think.
What can you do crazy?
Just ponder. What's something that I could just do just to go to jail?
What can I do to go to jail tomorrow?
Like what can I do? Like how can I just cause destruction?
That's crazy, ain't it?
Well, I just went in there and just made a scene, stole some chicken, and I got celebrities posting me. Man, hey, I'm a McDonald's worker. I build cubicles throughout my day.
At the airport.
I work for people in ties.
So what were they thinking when you came back to work? Were you still working there?
Yeah, I worked there for a good little minute. I worked there for some months.
So did people start talking about you at job time?
My coworkers, but not
with the higher ups.
Yeah, so not the people in the cubicles and the offices. Not even my manager, which is my mom's husband. Like
he didn't know.
Nah, my parents. Technically, my stepdad.
Yeah.
Through the marriage of my mom, but nah, they didn't know. They eventually found out, but at the time they didn't know. And
you everywhere, all on social media, everybody reposting you like crazy.
But the thing is, they was reposting me, but nobody knew my name. I know that's me though. I knew that was me. So I'm like,
I'm famous.
But no, it wasn't even that. It's like they need to know this name.
Oh, so now you say I'm finna make you know my name.
Yes.
So now you said I'm finna make sure I put my name on everything. Shout, Boonk Gang. I'm finna make myself famous.
Well, the thing is I didn't initially start out with Boonk Gang. The only reason why I was saying Boonk Gang is because the man was saying Fat Boy Gang. So I'm like, Bump Fat Boy Gang. Y'all look at me. It's Boonk Gang. And you know what I'm saying? So he was and he's not, his name not Fat Boy Gang. He was just saying, he called himself Fat Boy. So he was saying it's Fats Boy Gang.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, man, if this man is doing this to get this money, man, Bump this is my gang. Let me get some of that money. Let me get some of them views.
So after that first video, you said I'm gonna make them know my name. You contemplating, how can I go to jail? What was the next video?
Every night, every day.
That was your goal.
Bro, take me to jail.
Every day.
Take me to jail. Take me to jail. Take me to jail. Put them cuffs on me.
So I can record it.
So I could get some video and be on Warstar. Be on the Shade Room. You know what I'm saying? But look, this was my mindset. If I do this, then I'm gonna be rich. And I won't have to work at McDonald's no more. If I do this, I'm gonna be rich and I won't. Man, I used to be homeless.
Okay.
I used to have to dumpster dive.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it comes from some trauma.
Yeah, so I want to be rich so I don't never have to experience that no more.
What age was you when you was doing that?
Man, to be real, when my stepfather passed, my dad, I call him my dad because honestly, this man raised me since I was a kid. But
you talking about your mom's first husband?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my dad's my mom's first husband.
Okay.
So it's my mom's second husband.
Okay, you called him dad.
Yeah. It's a struggle calling my dad. But now that I'm grown, I try to call him pops. Respect thing, honor.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a struggle deep inside. It's because from a kid, I didn't know him as that. And my mom, she brainwashed me. This is John. I'm John Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So she'd be like, this John. This not your daddy.
Oh, that's what she was telling you, that he's not your daddy.
Yeah. So like my mom, she used to brainwash me. And so, you know, as I getting older, I was never familiar with calling him dad.
Yeah.
I was familiar with calling my stepdad dad.
Understandable.
So now it's a struggle, but I'm trying to break out of that and honor this man while he's still here. But
that's good.
My stepdad who raised me, he died when I was 14 due to bladder cancer. He had a drinking problem. And after that, it went from a 2-income household to 1 income. And my mom, she raising 6 kids on her own.
6?
Yeah, she's raising 6 kids on her own. I'm the only child out of my mom and dad. But with my stepdad, she had 5 other children. So I have 5 siblings from my stepdad. And when he died, you know, money got tight. And she'd take us behind with Dixie. We'll go through that dumpster, get some cakes, get some pastries, get some food. We'll take it back to the crib. And she always used to be like, don't tell nobody. Mm. And so he died when I was 14. I'd say 15, because it wasn't immediate where we just had to get behind the dumpster. It took some time. But I say 15, you know, we had to jump in the dumpster and I'd be helping my mom get some get some food out the dumpster. We'll be inside Publix, we'll eat some food, and, you know, she'll pay what she pay, and we walk out. So, you know, and then at 17, she had kicked me out, and, you know, she was the type of mom, she like, hey, you almost 18. Hey, you almost grown.
You got to go.
Hey, yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you don't got no plans. You don't got your stuff figured out. Hey, you on your own.
Yep.
Hey. 17 came. It was the year I was turning 18. I was still in school. It was so it was probably like January, because school ended like May.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it was it was the beginning of the year I was turning 18, but I was still 17 at the time.
Yeah.
I was staying with my mom's friend. My mom had us staying with a friend because she said she didn't want to transfer me in my last year, my senior year. And I've already been at 5 high schools.
5?
Yes, I've been to 5 high schools. So I went to Eagles View my freshman year. It's a Christian school. 10th grade, I went to Ed White. It's a public school. 9th grade is when my dad died. My stepdad.
Yeah.
So while he was alive, he had us in sports. They had us in sports and private school balance. Middle school, public. Elementary, private. Middle school, public. 9th grade, private. 10th grade, public. And up. So, Ed White, Wolfson, public. Then I moved to Claremont, Florida, near Orlando. I went to East Ridge out there for half a semester. Moved back to Jacksonville. Then I went to Lee and graduated from Lee, which is a public school in Jacksonville. And that was my last year. We done moved around so much. She moved to Miami, got remarried. We stayed in Jacksonville at her friend's house. All this making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to make it.
Yeah, you paint the picture perfectly.
Okay, yeah, so.
And you say we stayed here, how many, all the kids?
My sister was already kicked out. So it was me and my 4 brothers. And my sister was living with her husband. It was her boyfriend at the time. Her ex-husband now, but her boyfriend at the time.
And so your mom moved away to Miami and left you and your 4 other siblings, because it's about 5, and the other one, she went somewhere else with a boyfriend to live with her friend.
Yeah, so we stayed with.
That's a good friend to take all those kids in.
Yeah, man, and we were running the streets and we were being wild. And then she called my mom and said that we can't stay there no more. So she came back to get us, and I was with a girl. And I was drinking and getting a tattoo. And she was calling my phone that she gave me specifically to be ready when she get there. And when she got there, I wasn't there. When I did get there, I was leaning halfway. And she said, since you want to run these streets,
you're on your own.
Chase out the woman, you can stay here. She got in her car, and she took my brothers, and she left.
So that day you was on the streets?
My biological father actually my auntie came and got me.
Okay, good.
So that's my biological father's sister. And I stayed with my aunt for a little minute, and I was just in and out my auntie house. And my auntie said, hey man, you setting a bad example for my children.
Yep.
You can't stay here no more. So my auntie is my biological father's sister. I went to go stay with my uncle, which is my mom's brother. My uncle is a contractor. He built pools. I was working with my uncle. My uncle like, man, you got to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working with my uncle. This time I'm 18 already. I graduated high school.
So you graduated on time?
Yeah, I graduated with a certificate of completion, not a high school diploma.
Wow, what's the difference? How they give you that?
So a certificate of completion is I made my grades was good enough to graduate, but the SAT the SAT, I didn't pass that.
The state exam that they normally have. Yeah.
So I didn't pass the state exams to get my diploma, but I met the grades requirement to graduate. So I graduated with a certificate of completion, and I had to get my diploma, I had to finish summer school.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I graduated, I tried it for probably like a week or 2. I'm like, man, I'm out of school. Man, bump that. And I just left it at that. But my uncle, he was like, hey, bro, you gonna stay here. You got work. So I was working with my uncle. running the streets. And
did he give you a curfew to be in the house at this time? And
yeah.
And you just say, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And he told me no girls in this crib. And his girlfriend caught me having 2 girls in my room.
Are you talking about different times?
Yeah.
Okay, you said 2 girls, like you was getting it like that at 18?
Yeah, no, it's at different times.
Okay.
And then my uncle, he took away his key, and I had to wait outside to get into the house.
You had to wait till he get home in order for you to come in the house.
Yep, I couldn't be in the house while he wasn't there. So, my mom, she ended up calling me. Now, all this happened within 2 years of me graduating. So, from my aunt to my uncle. And my mom, she ended up calling me, and she like, hey, man, I'm hearing about all the trouble you having. You could come move in with me.
Oh, really?
And that's why I moved to Miami. So I'm like, bet. So one of my friends drove me halfway to Miami. Met my mom, and my mom came and got me. And then I was in Miami. My mom, she got me a job with her husband, her new husband, and I was working with him
at the airport.
And then, probably like 3-4 months, I went and picked up a second job.
So you wasn't afraid to work?
Nah, man.
So you working?
Even when I was staying with my aunt, my first job was at Popeyes. How ironic. And then
your first job, your first video.
Yeah. My first job was at Popeyes. I worked at Wendy's. I worked at it's all fast food. Worked at like I said, I did work with my uncle building pools. Worked at Popeyes, worked at Wendy's, worked at McDonald's. I did the Lady Liberty. So I stood on the side of the street holding the sign.
The tax services.
Yeah. So I did that, and then when I moved to Miami, I worked at the airport, worked at McDonald's again, and for the summer, I did the voting for Hillary Clinton. So I walked around the doors and asking people to vote for Hillary. I mean, honestly, I didn't care. They were just paying me. So I just did that for a little bit. But yeah, man, I've never been afraid to work.
I'm proud that you working, because you was young, you were still working. That's good. It's hard. A lot of younger people be like, I ain't finna be working. I'm finna go do YouTube. That's gonna be my career. But they won't go get those type of jobs.
Well, let me tell you this. When I stayed with my auntie, she took me to go get the job. I worked at Popeyes for 4 months, switched the job. And I went and worked at Wendy's for a day.
A day?
Yeah, man. Then I went and worked I worked at Crystal's for a day. And then I worked at Wendy's for like a week. And I worked at McDonald's. Man, I was just bouncing job to job. I worked at Five Guys.
You just working everywhere. Everywhere sell a burger, huh?
Man, because listen, I'm like, every time, like my auntie, she encouraged me to get the first job. She told me, hey, when you turn 18, because I wasn't 18 yet. My birthday is not till August. So even when I graduated high school,
you were still 17.
I was still 17. So when I did turn 18, my aunt like, it's time to get a job. And I'm gonna respect this. I stay with my aunt. I stay with her.
Yeah.
I got a job. I worked there for a little minute. But man, every job I work, bro, I'm gonna tell you straight up like this. I'm like, this is not me.
That's fair.
This is not me, man. And that's what really that's another thing that really like inspired me to do what Fat Boy was doing. I'm like,
that's me.
Yeah.
I feel more I can relate to that more than working at these fast food restaurants.
Yeah, man. I'm like, this all you got to do is just make this much money. That's way easier than flipping a burger.
How can I help you?
Yeah, flipping a burger and just making minimum wage. And like when I first started working, I was making $7.39.
Mm-hmm. My first job, I made $4.25 an hour.
Yeah.
At 16 years old, $4.25 an hour.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
But I needed those moments in my life to appreciate what hard work does, producing very minimal money, because it gave me a work ethic. And that's why I try to teach my sons or whatever. I was like, listen, you got to work. Like, because even if you think about it, if you went from high school, never having a job, and you making tens of thousands of dollars making videos, that would ruin you. It already did before. It's like you wouldn't even understand what hard work is. You over building pools, you over building you was doing some hard work.
I wish I would have stayed with that. Let me tell you this. I seen somebody acting, which I don't have any regrets. And everything that happened in my past made me the man I am today.
Facts.
And it's making me, the man I'm going to become.
Facts.
At the same time, I tried to take a shortcut.
Teach.
And when I seen that man being a fool, flashing a lot of money, I'm like, man, that's easy. And I tried to take a shortcut into getting money, getting wealth.
Yes.
And I missed out on growth and development and things that would have taught me to sustain my wealth.
John Hill Jr., you done spoke a word right there, boy.
So, but if I would have stayed with the attitude, if I'd have stayed working with my uncle, building pools, or even at the Miami airport, and I just would have worked hard, then it would have built character in me, and it would have built discipline in me, and it would have built so much in me that would have helped me sustain my wealth.
John, you have no idea what you just said, bro. When I say your generation needs to hear that like crazy, my sons need to hear that like crazy, and only you could deliver that message. But I can't deliver that message.
But I didn't have a man sitting in front of me telling me that. I experienced it. So I could say that from experience, because now that I'm here, I could look back and see where I messed up, or see where I tried to take a shortcut, and honestly, man, it's God. Like, if I could be completely honest, it's like when he had me in a season of being still or being patient for something I prayed for. I don't want to be patient, but him making me wait is not saying no. I have to wait because impatience is not of the Holy Spirit. So the only way, he can't just give me patience. I have to learn to be patient.
Teach.
And so if I have to learn to be patient, if I put my faith in God for him to answer my prayer, if he answer it just immediately, he's not teaching me patience. So, man, I didn't have a man sitting in front of me to tell me that. I've experienced it, and I'm experiencing it through the love of God. So I could say that now. So I could tell somebody younger than me, or I could say that I could give that game to somebody else. But bro, honestly, if I'd have had my dad, the man who raised me, my stepdad in front of me, told me that, I'd have listened to him.
You would have?
I'd have listened to him.
Why? How you would have listened to him back then? What respect did you have for him then?
I loved that man and I respected him. Man, when he died, it broke my heart. Man, when he died, it shattered my heart, dog. Because he was the only father figure that I had in my life. Man, he used to tell me just all the time, man. I just used to hang with him, kick it with him, and he'd just be like, John, man, I love you like my son.
Ooh,
he was like, I remember this as a teenager. I'd just be sitting with him, just me and him. And he'd just be like, you not being my blood, it doesn't make me love you any less. I love you like you mine.
That part.
And, just that, just hearing that, it really made me feel loved, and it just helped me just in my childhood, because I'm around, bro, think about this, man. I'm a kid in a family, his own family, that doesn't feel apart. I'm the only child. I have 5 other siblings who have their father in their house. I'm the only child who don't have a dad. And I hear my mom walk around the house all the time telling me about my dad. But I see siblings who we share the same mom, but they had their dad.
That's real, boy.
So every time I go to family outings, I'm around people who don't share the same blood as me. Who be like, you know, who I have to be reminded every day that I'm not their blood. As a child, bro, that's overwhelming.
I know it. I can only imagine.
That's overwhelming. It's stressful.
So that you find yourself start acting out, like were you getting in trouble before the age of 14?
No.
So you was good. You was chilled. You was.
I promise you, I wasn't even cursing. I wasn't smoking. My dad had me in sports. I was an athlete. I was in track. I was playing Pop Warner football.
Wow.
When that man was alive, I was in sports. His parents, my grandparents, not my blood grandparents, but his parents,
right,
would just, you know, just be so happy to talk to me about sports. And man, my last year playing football was in 9th grade, and I tried to play 10th grade, but it just I didn't have
your support.
I didn't have the support, and I didn't have the finances to continue playing. And my mom, she just put it all on me to just stick with it, but I couldn't. But my 9th grade year, man, after my first game, I tried to run in the room and tell my dad about the game. I'm like, Dad, man, I just had an interception. Man, this man looked at me in my face. He didn't even know who I was. Man, that broke my heart, bro. Because he had cancer.
And it started taking away his memory like that. You just watched him just deteriorate.
Yes. At 14, I watched this man go from being healthy, head full of hair, smiling, vibrant, to weak. Like, I seen his whole cancer journey. I was going with him to his meetings. I mean, not to his meetings, to his chemotherapy. But sitting at the home, I had to watch this man go from being vibrant, telling me, I love you like you my own son.
To not even knowing who you are.
To not even knowing who I am. My mom walked in the room. She like, man, leave your daddy alone, man. You know, he not feeling good right now. So, man, you know, I was.
Oh Lord, that's about to break me down. God.
So, you know, I was carrying a lot of hurt.
14 years old.
Yeah, 14, bro. So I know for a fact, if I had him in front of me, and he was a jeweler, and he was respected in his field of work. You know, he had all the equipment at the crib, and
you probably just start following in his footsteps, and became a jeweler.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Now his first son.
That's what he does.
Well, he had other children with other women, but with my mama, his first son, yeah, he would have been a jeweler. He would have been a jeweler, but me, I was more in sports. Shoot, man, that man had me on the football field. He had me in track, but he would be out in the yard, be training. He'll be training with me. You know, he'll make sure I go hard, and he'll raise me like a boy. You know, he wouldn't be afraid to hit me in my chest.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be afraid to tell me to drop down and stay in push-up position.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't really spanked me like that, but you know, he'll throw a football hard in my chest or something. Tell me to catch the ball, or he'll make me stand in push-up position.
Yeah.
That used to be his favorite punishment. Well, he made me stand in push-up position. But you know, he was
and you respected him enough not to be like, I ain't finna go do nothing.
Man, all I knew was him. As a kid, I don't know nobody else. I don't my dad said I went to visit him in prison, but bro, I don't remember that. So in the household that I was living in, all I seen was the man who was there every day.
That's good. So you ain't got to call him stepfather no more in this interview. That's your daddy. That's your dad, bro. That's your dad. He earned it.
Yeah. But I still got my real dad alive. So,
yeah, but that's your dad. That's your dad.
Yeah.
And your biological dad, that's your dad too, but that's your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I know for a fact, if he was I wouldn't. But let me tell you this: I know for a fact I wouldn't have went the way I did if he was alive, because he would have made sure of that, and he would have kept me in the right crowds, bruh. He had me in private school. He had me in sports, but it's only for the greater good of society that I did go the route I did, because it's my mission to go out in the streets, prisons, juvenile detention centers, to go out in the trenches and be for the people, for the young adults that nobody was to me. That I missed out on.
Because the Bible says, "For I know all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose."
Yeah, man. So it's like, he played his part. And the part that he did play, I got a chance to experience what a father is.
Yes.
So, I'm grateful, bro. I'm grateful. I'm blessed to even have experienced that. But at a young age, it did something to me.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some trauma that, like, I've never watched a parental figure
and
fade away like that.
Let me tell you this, bro. Let me tell you this. He was my protector. Because my mama, she was abusive.
Oh, okay.
And he used to protect me from her.
Mm.
But when he left,
the abuse started back again?
It never subsided.
Oh, really?
It just wasn't as bad. When he left, is when it got worse. Is when she got real physical. And I couldn't run away from it. I had to face it. And that just, it really grew something in me, because I wanted to protect myself, but I never wanted to hurt my mom.
Right.
But I wanted to protect myself so bad.
So what would she do to you?
She'll just be upset over the little stuff, and she'll just punch me in my face and tell me to shut up. Not giving me a chance to express myself or communicate. Communication is healthy. But she would literally have me suck in my emotions and just hold it in, and I could never express myself. So if you go back and watch a lot of my videos, you will see me all loud and obnoxious, and, well, hey, I never knew how to express myself.
There it is. Gosh, this is good.
I was never taught. I never learned how to express myself. All I know how to do is just be loud. Well, see, now when I feel some type of way, I could maturely express myself. But before, when I felt some type of way, when I feel an emotion, I act on that emotion. Just act without thinking, because I feel some type of way and I don't know what else to do with it. Just act on that emotion. But now I use wisdom, and instead of acting on emotion, I act on truth. I do my best to. But I still know how to communicate how I feel without starting a scene, without causing a scene. But before, I didn't know how.
It's called arrested development. It's like where you go through a stage in your life, you're stuck in the trauma that was caused. You dealt with a lot of trauma early on in life. Yeah. The loss of your father, and then you're going not knowing where you're gonna live from one moment to the next. When you getting around 17 or whatnot, getting passed around different homes or whatever. That's a lot. That's a lot of trauma to go through.
Man, that's why I got vagabond tatted on my face.
It's a vagabond. Where's that at?
It's like right here, I believe.
It's a vagabond on your face.
Yeah, but it's in Japanese. Vagabond, never having a steady place at home. And I got that tatted on me at like 20. 21, something like that. Probably 20. Yeah, I was 20.
You got misunderstood right across your eye, right? What does it say? Misunderstood?
Mm-hmm.
What made you get that?
Oh, I'm misunderstood for sure. But, perhaps we all are in a way. But, even now, even today, somebody could look at me and so many judgmental thoughts could come in their mind. But all I can say is glory to God that the God in heaven doesn't judge us the same way people do.
Well, I love how you handled the lady at the restaurant we were at eating breakfast, and she said, "I don't mean to be offensive, but she was a worker there. So I don't mean to be offensive, but did that hurt when you got the tattoo? How do you feel? How did you just sit there and let somebody tattoo your face like that? You like, listen, I don't take offense of it at all. I like people to inquire. That's a mature statement.
Yeah, man. Hey, we human. Sometimes stuff piques our interest.
And rightfully so, because I'm looking at you all like you sat there and let somebody run ink through your skin on your face several times.
But, I tell people I focus on the end and not the process of it. And it's something like my Christian walk. In the process, if you continue focusing on the pain, then you're not going to be able to get all the way through.
But your face is telling a story.
Yeah.
Even every tattoo, like you even said, you put vagabond on there. You got misunderstood. There's all kind of symbols and different stuff on your face that's telling a story of something that's going on the inside. Would you agree?
It's telling a story. It's a conversation starter.
You got true on your eyelid. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
True on one. What's on the other one?
Stay true.
Stay true.
Have blessed. Yeah, it's a conversation starter. It tells a story, and this generation is getting face tattoos, so it helps me to fit in with this lost generation. I'm not lost, but you may not would be able to tell if you want to judge me just off my looks.
But you got the tattoos when you were lost.
I sure did. And I could go back to them same lost crowds and fit right in and tell them about Jesus.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's where the scripture says, "For I know all things work together." Because the cool thing about it is, and you ran into this problem where, there's such a purpose over your life, and that's why you've been under attack for so many years. And even the story that you shared, which I want you to touch briefly on, about, like I said, it was a video where you were just mouth bloody and all that type of stuff. What happened in that video?
I was jumped. Yeah, my jaw was broken due to gang affiliation, which is stupid, so stupid. Beefing over land you don't even own. Wow.
It's my set. You don't even own the house you stand in right now.
I'm saying it's so stupid. Different colors and everything, man. It's stupid.
And so you was gang affiliated. You said you want to join a gang for what reason?
I thought it would enhance my career. You so goofy.
Because you're crazy when you said everything was career and didn't even have a career that you was chasing after. You just wanted fame.
At all. It don't make no sense.
Every time I kept saying, what career? You was like, fame.
Yeah, fame, just fame. But you got to understand, I was 20, 21, 22 max. 23 is when I started questioning everything. And 24 is just when I gave my life to Christ.
23, you start questioning everything.
23, I started questioning stuff, bro. 23, like, why am I going to jail? I'm not even rich. I want to be rich. I've been famous 2 years now. I'm not rich.
How was you making money back then?
Promotion. I was doing a lot of
brand deals and stuff.
Not brand deals. There was a lot of scamming deals. A lot of scam. It's a lot of scam activity.
You talking about people will hire you to do that?
A lot of scam likely stuff.
Did you say scam likely?
Scam likely. Man.
So in your heyday, when you say you didn't get rich, how much did you think you made in your greatest year?
I probably made like 200,000.
And that's you just doing whatever.
I ain't never had no money before, man.
I know that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you over here at 21, 22-ish?
Just letting it go. Spin it on vagina. drugs, man, spending it on designer clothes, and it's. I had no plan. I'm like, I want fame, I want wealth. I got a little fame, I got a little money. Didn't have no plan, and if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yeah, if you fail
to fail, you fail to plan, whichever one.
That is.
And the scripture says, "A fool and his money shall surely depart."
Yeah, the amount of wings like eagles. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And so you.
But you know what? I was, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. 20, 21, and I never knew how to be a celebrity. Never knew how to be famous. I see, I have 1 million followers or 2 million followers
or 5 million before your Instagram got snatched away.
I'm looking at everybody else with the same amount of followers and notoriety, and I see them with designer drip, Gucci on. I'm like, oh, so this is what you're supposed to do. Oh, okay. Go ahead and blow my money, or spend $4,000 on a Gucci jacket, wear it one time and hang it up. Boy, that's stupidity, boy. I don't do that no more. That's stupid, boy.
So wear it one time and put it up.
But this is what I experienced.
Yes.
I ain't have experience then. I have experience now.
And wisdom comes with experience.
Yes, for sure.
What was the moment where you said, I'm sick of living this life? You were 23 as you was transitioning to 24 and you gave your life to Christ.
So I was facing 3 years in prison, LA County, hit and run, gun charges, 3 gun charges, and the possession of narcotics. Now, let me tell you the foolishness I was on. When I speak about this, I'm like, man, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing what God could do.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you this, I'm telling you this because it's coming from my memory. But if we just sit here and chop it up, none of this foolishness stuff gonna come out my mouth. We gonna have an intellectual conversation.
Right.
We gonna talk Bible, and we gonna talk about how we not about to get in trouble.
Exactly.
But when I speak on what I used to do, I'm like, what? If somebody come around, I don't even hang around people like that.
Good.
But I'm like, dang, I can't believe that was me. But culture, social media, all that just brainwashing. That's what I was in. But man,
brainwashing.
Yeah,
that's a key word right there.
You either brainwash with the world or you brainwash with the word.
Teach.
So
John Hill Jr., you better teach.
Hey, I wash myself with the word, not with the world. Because I've already lived that life, and it ain't the only place it got me was sleeping on my sister's couch with millions of followers. And I had to look at my sister and she like, you got a plan? That's humbling. I moved back home to Jacksonville after 3 years of staying in Cali because I lost it all in Cali and I had to go stay with my uncle and start working with him again.
Start right back over.
Yeah. Man, that's humbling. Me and my uncle got into an argument. He like, well, I ain't the one that lost everything and need my help.
That's humbling.
That's humbling. That's humbling, man. That's humbling.
He said, I ain't the one that lost everything.
He said, I ain't the one that lost everything and had to come work.
So you was in California. What brought you to Jesus? You was facing all these. Facing all these charges.
So I was facing charges, and I woke up. I was in a Maserati. Back up. Man, I hit like 6 parked cars, bro.
Where you get the Maserati from?
It was a rental. I got it from my plug, from who I buy pills from. B-Lo.
You said you got a Maserati and now you just ran it into 5 parked cars.
Man, I didn't try to. I just pressed the gas and that thing just lost control. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't have the traction on. But man, as soon as I pressed the gas, I remember back like a normal day, I have my producer in the car, and I have a chick who I claimed to be my girl, or nah, she wasn't my girl. We were just messing around or doing something. But I had them in the car. We was about to head to IHOP, and
was you high during that time?
I just woke up from a high.
Okay.
But I literally did nothing. I pressed the gas
and ran into some cars
and just lost control of the car. I backed up, drove forward, pressed the gas, lost control. Pet. I stopped. Look at the car. I can get this to my plug. We gonna swap it out. Start driving. Hit the street. I'm in Calabasas.
Uh-oh.
The car just is like it punting. It ain't really going nowhere. It punting. You know. So I parked behind it.
You got to hit them cars hard in the mud when you did that.
Man, I slammed in them things. But it's so crazy because I hit it and I'm trying to yank it back and it just keep going left. And I'm just, dang. And so,
he just start putting.
Yeah, that thing start punting. Boy, that thing just, it started punting and smoking. So, I drive behind Shell and then, I get on the phone, try to call my plug. And, the girl, she in the back seat, my engineer, my producer, he go into the store. So I'm outside. I'm right there by my car. I'm on the phone. Next thing you know, boy, like 15 cops pull up. They come. They withdraw their guns. Tell me to get down. But I actually been in a handful of scary situations when I deal with the police where I have to crawl on my belly and they tell me I move, they gonna do me.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing I can do but just crawl on my belly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a wrong move gonna look like, but I hope I don't do it. You know?
So I don't know what a wrong move gonna look like.
Shoot, but I hope I don't do it.
So crawling on my belly.
Yeah. But they withdraw their guns, they cuff me up. My producer come out to the car, they cuff him up.
The girl get cuffed up?
Yeah, she get cuffed up. They put us in they searched my car.
Found the pistol.
They found the pistol. They found the drugs. And they like, whose on is this? I don't know, sir. I asked the producer, whose on is this? I don't know. Me, today, even though I won't be in that situation ever again, today I just be like, am I?
Yeah.
And I'm
integrity.
And I'm not going to put nobody else
in that situation
and have them. But then, what was I? This was 2018. So I was 22. Or it was the year I was turning 22 because I actually got sentenced when I turned a little bit after I turned 22 at the end of the year. So, but then I'm like, I don't know. They put us in the back seat. They like, hey, listen, somebody got to take this. I'm gonna let y'all talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
When I get back, I need somebody to own up to it. I need a name. So they left. He look at me. He like, what you want me to do? Want me to take it? Say yeah.
The producer said that?
Yeah. He like, what you want me to do? You want me to take it? Yeah. Grab that for me.
Man, you got me messed up.
Yes. What do you mean?
Please take that.
Look, this was 2018. I blew up 2017. So I'm still like around, still fresh.
Yeah.
You know, but he like, you want me to take it? Like, yeah, grab that for me. He like, okay, I got you. He come back. My producer like, that's mine, sir. So they put the gun charge on him and they gave me the hit and run and the possession of narcotics. We get in the cell. We kicking it and everything. I bond out. I go to the crib. I got the girl there. They cleaned up the crib because they had, no. Okay, yeah. So I get back home. So what I was about to say, it didn't happen yet. It's happened next. So I get home. I get on the internet. First thing, boy, the internet done ruin me, boy. Boy, the internet done made me a big fool, boy. That's why I don't be on the net. Nah, boy.
He said it made you a big fool.
A big fool, boy.
You didn't record that incident, did you?
Nah, but I recorded this. Let me tell you. Like, today, this is why I do not be on the internet. Because when I was 20, 21, 22, boy, that internet done did me in. I get home. Soon as I get home, I hop on the ground. Yeah, man. Man, free my dog, man. He took my gun charge. Man, hold on, man.
You done confessed?
Man, you know what I'm saying, boy? Man, free my dog, man. He done took my gun charge. Man, look, man, they took my little pistol, but they ain't take my big guns, though. They ain't take my big guns, though. Boy.
He said the internet made you a big fool.
They call it, in Miami, they call it a gook. A big dummy. A gook. Big dummy. Boy, I was a big dummy. Man. Let me tell you. I bond him out, right?
Yeah.
Like a week later. Bip. LAPD, open up. Them jokers was watching me. They was watching me since I bonded out. I didn't know that. Them jokers was watching me since I bonded out. Soon as I heard that LAPD, boy, I went running. I put my guns. I separated the clip. And
Yeah.
I just knew to do this. I don't know how, but I separated the clip. I put that up, and they gave me less time because the clip wasn't in the gun.
Yep.
And I didn't know nothing about that.
Yep.
I just did it. And they came.
So when I was 16 years old, I got kicked out of my high school, Skyline High School. I had an empty, what was it? A 38 revolver. I took to school, but my charge was lesser because it was no bullets in it.
Yeah.
So it was like, and that's one of the charges I had.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Man, I didn't, I ain't know nothing. I just did it. So I took the clip out, took all the clips out, put them in one area, put the guns in another area. And I was honestly trying to find a way to jump out the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I had people in my crib. But the window was so small and I had stuff in the way I couldn't do it. And man, we finally just opened the door and they arrested everybody in the crib and they flipped everything in that. It was an apartment. They flipped everything in there. And so they came out with the guns and they was looking for me. So they let everybody else go. They was taking me to jail and they was like, yeah, so we've been watching you.
Mm.
And we had a confession on the video.
Mm.
So I'm like, what?
When I confess.
And let me tell you how green I am. Let me tell you how green I was.
Yeah.
When they told me that they dropped the producer charge and gave it to me, boy, I was hot like it wasn't my gun. They were my gun. I'm like, what?
How y'all gonna put that on me?
Yeah. So green. It was my gun to begin with.
They trying to set me up. They trying to set me up.
You know what I'm saying? But they got me on video telling, man, free my dog. He took my gun charge. You know what I'm saying? But so I was facing 3 years off that.
Oh God.
And, man, honestly, it's a blessing that how we could talk about this and we could laugh about it now.
Yeah.
Because before stuff like this, when I have a conversation, I'd probably break down or I'd be mad or I'll cry or I'd be real serious when I share.
Yeah.
But this version of me is just healed.
At the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
We said at the same time, it's
So,
the heal version. When
yeah.
you heal, you can laugh about stuff that used to break you down.
Yeah.
That's what healing looks like.
Yep. So that's what I was facing 3 years for. When I got sentenced, I actually got a lawyer on that case. The lawyer was helping me out, and then I end up catching a battery charge while the trial was going on for that. And I had actually put my lawyer on it, but I owed bro like 10 bands or something like that, and I wasn't able to pay him. Like my life was literally spiraling out of control, and I wasn't financially literate, so wasn't storing over my finances, poor money management. So, you know, I couldn't pay my lawyer. And then it was just getting to the point where he's like, hey, I've gotten you this far. You know, you gotta work with the PD. You gotta work with the PD.
Yeah, you on your own on
You know
this
what I'm
one.
saying? Yeah, you gotta. So, but I did a day. I ended up having to do community service for the battery, and I didn't complete it. I ended up doing the day in jail. That was over. Now the one where I was facing 3 years, shoot, got 6 months county. I was sentenced 6 months county time. The day I would turn myself in was December, and I got a chance to talk to the DA. Usually that don't happen, but I got to talk to the DA, and I looked at her and I said, "Ma'am, I know this looks bad."
I know this looks bad.
Yeah, for real. Cause man, I had I believe they dropped the gun. I believe they dropped one gun charge, but I had
Because they found the ones in the house too.
Yeah. So initially, I had a hit and run, 3 gun charges, and a possession of narcotics. But I ended up getting a hit and run, a gun charge, and a possession of narcotics.
So one of the gun charges.
It was 1 or 2 that was dropped, but it went from 3 years in prison, which of course, like I said, I got lesser time because the clips weren't in the gun.
Yep.
And one of the guns were illegal. Another gun had the serial number scratched off. So, you know, hey, this is real. I'm getting favor.
Yep.
To begin with.
Yep.
So, you know, I look at it, I say, man, I know this looks bad, but I want to change. I'm trying to change. And if you could just cut me some slack. Like they already got, you know, I shoot some slack. hey, I
don't know what y'all do in the legal terms for this, but what I would say, just cut me some slack.
Yeah, I need some more slack. They already cut me something. I get 6 months county from 3 years prison. But I need a little more slack.
Need a little bit more.
Yeah, I need a little bit more. But I ended up getting sentenced 5 months. So
that's a blessing.
Yeah. So when I turned myself in, I got sentenced 5 months. And when I went in, when I went in my processor, all the inmates lit. Oh, that Boonk Gang. Oh, snap. Oh. The CO's like,
who is this dude?
Who? Hey, let's get him out of here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they put me in the hole, and I went through.
Because they probably thought you was like some head of some gang or something for you to act like that. They didn't know you was some internet sensation.
Yeah.
They like, oh no, he gonna create some problems.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that they was some real fans on some Instagram stuff.
Get him out of here. So, you know, I spent my first week in solitary confinement.
God, how they gonna do you like that? Your first week, you ain't do nothing wrong.
I ain't do nothing wrong, bro. Nothing wrong. First week, solitary confinement. So, after a week, first CO came across my way. Hey, y'all gotta get me up out of here. Straight up. Y'all gotta get me up out of here, boy. Man, I'm staring at the cell is so small, dog. It's so small. No TV. Crazy people. Just neighbor.
Yeah, hearing people screaming and talking crazy.
Yeah, man. Hey, they interviewed me. They asked me, do I fear for my life? I said, no, I'm good. It just moved me. They asked me some other questions, but that's the only question I remember. And next thing you know, I was moved. So I went up to, I believe, Charlie Row. I was in LA County. And I believe I was in Charlie. It's like Charlie Baker or something. But yeah, I was in Charlie. So my cellmate, Joshua Pardue, I would never a day in my life forget this man. Now, he was standing on the cell bars like this, posted up. As soon as I walked in there, like, where you from? And they do that in there because, you know, it's it's gang.
Yep.
You know, it's gangs, people repping sets, and, you know, it's dangerous.
Yep.
So he like, where you from? And I'm like, you know, I already know the lingo. My security guard, he was a gangbanger. So, you know, I'm familiar with the terms and everything. And politics. Well, I say I'm from Florida. You know, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. He like, okay, cool. Get on the top bunk. That's you. I get on the top bunk, start watching TV. I'm excited. I got a TV, boy. I'm happy. The next thing he like, do you believe in Jesus?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I believe in Jesus. And I'm going to tell you this. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. Think about Jesus. You know what I'm thinking about? Instagram.
Wow. While you was in jail, you was thinking about Instagram.
Man, I'm thinking about fame. I'm thinking about the internet. My social media was deleted because I was smashing chicks on there. So I didn't have no social media. I'm thinking about when I get out, I gotta get back right. But I was met with Jesus. And I wasn't thinking about him.
So why'd you say you know Jesus?
I believed in Jesus. Remember I told you my stepdad, he had me in private school.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with Jesus. I knew that Jesus was God. I know Jesus was God. And, he died for the sins of the world. Did I have a personal relationship with him? Hell no. I didn't have no personal relationship with Jesus. I didn't know anything about him. I just knew the only thing I was taught was that Jesus, Son of God, died for the sins of the world. Believe in him, you live. You don't, you die. And honestly, growing up, my mom, she professed Christianity, but she lived life on her own terms.
Yeah.
She professed a faith that she didn't live up to.
There it is.
So, what that teach me? Believe in Jesus, but that's it. But it's more than that. Where's your fruit? Do you bear fruit? Do your life show that you're a believer? See, I didn't know nothing about that, dog.
Was that odd for that man to ask you that in
Yeah,
jail?
bro.
And so what did you think when he said that?
Ain't they nothing? And let me tell you, the position that I was in, I was open to listening. Sometimes you got to be put in a jail cell so you can be receptive to God and his word.
There it is.
On the outside, I wouldn't have listened. I needed that. But
That's
God
good.
met me exactly where I needed to be met at.
There it is.
So I could be receptive to him. I said, yeah, I believe in Jesus. That man began pouring life into me. Just showing me nothing but love. And he was an older dude too. Just teaching me the word. And I began asking questions. But you got to understand, bro. I was 22 years old. Gained fame so quick. From the streets. Literally. Man, I don't care what nobody say. I came up from the streets.
Sure did.
Man, I was homeless. Still making videos. When my mama did find out, she told her husband that I can't work with her no more and she kicked me out. So I was on the streets of Miami. I'm not from Miami. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I moved to Miami to stay with my mama. So when she kicked me out, I don't got no friends. I don't have family out here. I'm literally on the street. When I was in Jacksonville, I could at least call a friend.
To crash on their couch or whatever.
You know what I'm saying? I could at least call auntie, cousin, but I don't have nobody in Miami. And I didn't come out, and I was transported here through a friend.
How far is that drive?
It's 5.5 hours.
Oh, yeah. There ain't no way you can just go run, 45 minutes away.
So, and then my thing is this. When I started making the videos in Miami. So when she did kick me out, in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm gaining clout out here. I might as well just stay out here and continue doing my thing. Man, I was sleeping in abandoned buildings. Still making videos, bro. Still thinking. Man, I came up off the streets, bro, with a cell phone. I did that. So it's like, people, they go through the industry. They have management teams. They had, man, I just climbed and clawed my way through.
With a phone and free social media site.
That was it. That's it.
5 at your peak of your career, 5 million.
Yes, bro.
So where was the music coming? Were you even?
Well, let me finish the testimony. So when I was sitting in jail, I told him, yeah, I believe in Jesus, and I was receptive to his word. He began just showing me the love of Christ. Oh, and okay, I said all that. So this is where I stopped at. So after experiencing all that, I'm hearing about a man who died for my sins. He said, if I confess my sins, he's rightful and justly to forgive me of all unwickedness. If I confess my sins, he'll forgive me and I have everlasting life. Jesus died for me, for a man who pistol whipped people. Jesus died for me who stole purses from old ladies. Jesus died for a man who was doped up, hallucinating, talking to walls. Jesus died for a man who wanted to kill his own mama. I mean, I was that scared. I wanted to kill her. Jesus died for a man who gained fame off harassing people and stealing stuff. Jesus died for a man who was addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, who was abusing women. He died for that type of person. But just hearing that, you see, I could say that so much confidently now because I have a relationship with God.
Teach.
But then hearing that, man, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. I abused people. I hurt people. I caused so much pain in other people's lives. Hurt people.
Yeah.
God, the world hurt me.
Yeah.
So I don't care about hurting others because they didn't care about me. My own mama left me out on the streets to survive on my own. And I had to do that at a young age. The only man who was in my life, who said they loved me, died from cancer. And I watched him deteriorate and fade away. I'm hurt. So I don't care about hurting others.
Yeah.
Because life ain't care about hurting me. But now I'm in a jail cell that God says, I know you've been through a lot of pain. I know you've been through a lot of suffering, but I have good plans for you to prosper you and not to harm you. Man, that broke my heart, man. I don't deserve everlasting life. But God say, if you believe in my only son, I will give it to you and forgive you of all your sins. Don't matter what you've done. It broke my heart and I wanted to know more.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you,
I
Jesus.
wanted to know more.
Thank you, Lord.
So I was asking him questions every single day. My cellmate was in there for murder. Not that he murdered somebody, but that he was involved in a robbery where somebody died. And he's in there for murder. And he's telling me about God and his love, and he's showing it to me. Man, I remember getting into an argument with him. We was playing some cards. We was playing spades. And we had a little disagreement. And he didn't know who I was, but he began to know who I was because when people walk past my cell, people be like, hey man, what's up, Boom? Hey, what's up? So he looking back like, who is you? Oh, okay. Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. What you do? Oh, you rap? You made video? Okay. So that's how
he didn't know the magnitude of it.
Nah, but people, come by my cell, and so he knew I was somebody on the outside. But he been in there for years already.
Oh, okay.
And this only been a year since I've been lit. He was already in there for like 4 years. So I remember we got into a disagreement because we was playing spades. And he tried to call a neighbor. So the inmates who in the next cell to us, we called him our neighbor. So he tried to call the neighbor. I'm like, hey man, hey bro, I don't care who you add into this conversation. It don't change how I look at this. It don't change my mindset. What the F you adding him in this for? It's between me and you.
Yeah. And
we started going back. He was really peaceful. He was really calm. And this was already with him teaching me, showing me the word. And he looked at me and he said, Man, I ain't never let no other man talk to me like that, Boonk. He said, man, let me tell you something about your attitude, man. He said, let me tell you, he didn't say that. He said, man, let me tell you something about anger, about having an attitude. He said, I was in the store with my wife, and some Hispanic man came and skipped us. He was drunk, and he done sized me up. And I was ready to steal off on him. And my wife grabbed me and said, no, baby, no, don't. Let him, just leave him alone, let him be. He said, man, after we paid for our stuff, we walked outside and we see him getting into a van with all his homies, big guns. He said, now, Boonk, just think. If I just would have stole off on him and just beat him up.
Dog, you could have shot him and his wife up.
He said, just think if I just would have beat him up and he ran outside and grabbed his homies, I wouldn't be here. He said, man, you got to cool it with that attitude, man. You got to cool it with that anger. You just got to, and I never forget that story, bro.
I won't either.
And so, that just gave me another outlook of just anger and how I got to control myself and, not be so ready to fire off. And honestly, firing off ain't never benefit me.
Don't benefit nobody.
Nah, bro, it make things worse. It just makes things worse.
One of the things they teach even in boxing is that you can't box and be angry.
Nah,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? You're gonna get beat up.
You gotta be composed.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
And you're in a fight. The whole match is a fight, but they say do not fight angry.
Nope. Nah, man. Yeah. So one night after just soaking up the word and after my cellmate just being a vessel for God, I decided to sing to Jesus. I was asking this man, I'm like, man, I rap, man. What I'm supposed to do now? What I'm supposed to rap about now? He's like, man, I don't know, man. You gotta talk, pray to God. I'm like, man, what I'm supposed to do, bro? Man, Jesus, just help me find myself. Help me, show me what I'm supposed to do. So, I get on my bunk, like, Jesus loves you, for he died on the cross for our sins. He's always with you, from beginning to the end. Honestly, I've never took time to just sing to Jesus, and I never took time to worship him. I never took time to give him praise or, I remember as a kid, I used to pray. I used to do that, but it stopped. I would say it stopped after my stepdad died. And I just, maybe even before that. And I wouldn't say it's just, not because I had anything against God, but the life that the people that I was around, my family, and the life that I was living, it wasn't biblically sound.
Yeah.
There wasn't no Bible foundation. Now, I was taught to believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
But
you wasn't taught to have a relationship with him.
I wasn't taught to have a relationship with him. Honestly, I was taught to fear him.
Yes. That's the first thing they taught us.
I was scared of, I was taught to fear God. Hell or heaven. Fear so you don't go to hell.
Yep.
So I didn't know anything about the love of God. I didn't know anything about the forgiveness of God. I didn't know anything. But I was learning that while I was in jail. So, I just started singing, bro. I laid down. I started crying. I don't know why, but I was just sad, and I started crying. I bundled up in my cover, and I was just crying. And immediately, presence just come over me, strip my sadness away, and fill me with a childlike joy. And I was just happy. I was just so happy. I couldn't explain it, man.
I know what you're talking about.
I was happy, and I knew to keep my eyes closed and embrace the moment. I just knew to just shut up and embrace the moment. So I did that. And I felt so loved. A feeling I've never felt before. it was unexplainable. I jumped off my bunk. I woke my cellmate up. I say, Josh, wake up. And I knew it was supernatural because it's two people in the cell. It's me and my cellmate. My cellmate crashed. He gone, he sleep. And I feel a physical presence over me, hovering over me, stripped my sadness away and made me happy. Man, I wake Josh up. I say, Josh, wake up. He wake up. He like, what's up, man? I say, Josh, man, I was just singing to Jesus, man. I say, I was crying. I say, Josh, look at the tears, man. I was crying. I was worshiping Jesus. But something came over me, Josh. Something came over me and took my sadness away and made me happy.
Oh, Lord Jesus. You about to have me speaking in tongues.
He looked at me and he said, that was the Holy Spirit. He said, you just had an encounter with the Holy Spirit. Man, I've never had no encounter like that ever before in my life.
And no drugs ever made you feel like that?
No drugs ever made me feel like that. Drugs made me hallucinate, talk to walls, become violent, hateful. I felt loved. And, you know, what's so amazing is I didn't ask for an encounter with God. He gave it to me. I wasn't even seeking an encounter, bro. Honestly, I wasn't. I just decided to sing some words to Jesus. I just did that.
From your heart?
From my heart, because I wanted to. I just wanted to. I never knew about the Holy Spirit. I knew of Jesus, but I didn't know about God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. I didn't know I could even feel God like that. I didn't know that. I knew I could believe in him, but I didn't know that. And I got a chance to experience God in a way that, man, is just so beautiful, man, magnificent, just like so in awe, like left me in awe, man. I was shook that whole night. And my cellmate, like, man, just, you know, you just thinking too much. Just lay down, rest. You ate, you know, you jumping on the bed. Cause I jumped back, like, he like, bro, let me tell you, bro. I'm like, I jumped back on my bed and then I hopped down and I'm like, I'm shaking. I'm like, Jai. He like, listen, God is telling me that what you just experienced don't have you shaking. It don't have nothing to do with this. He's like, you thinking too much. You just ate. You jumping on the bed. Just calm down. Cause like, bro, like after that encounter, like, I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You start getting scared?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. Like my body just went in shock. You know what I'm saying? But like I didn't feel no pain. Like that encounter didn't feel no pain. I felt love.
Yeah.
Like I honestly felt love. And it was a gentle love. It was so
gentle love.
It was gentle, it was sweet, like it was soft. And honestly, man, like honestly, bro, I was sad. And what I felt stripped me from sadness, like stole my sadness away, like made me happy. Like what I felt replaced joy with replaced sadness with joy. Like it literally, like, man, I traded sadness for joy.
Yeah.
And it was automatic. Like it was just like that. As soon as I felt the Holy Spirit, it was instant. And I didn't even know it was the Holy Spirit. I'm like, bro, something happened, came over me and made me happy.
And what year was that?
2019.
2019.
This was 2019. I was already in there a couple months. So a month and a half. So
so you've been in the faith for about 5 years now.
No. I wish I could tell you that.
Okay, what happened then?
So when I got out of jail, I fell into the New Age religion.
Oh.
When I got out of jail, I fell into the New Age religion.
Explain what that is.
So let me tell you this. I was on YouTube and I was researching money. YouTube led me how to attract money.
Mm.
Yeah, I was interested. I was, so they teach you, I forgot how they teach you how to attract it, but bro, I got used to bathroom. I ain't gonna cap. I'm saying holding it. But I'm gonna tell this story though. I'm gonna tell this story.
Ahead. And we can get ready to wrap up.
All right, bet. Yeah, boy, I'm holding it, boy. So you see me shaking these legs, you know, I got you need, boy. So yeah. So
You talking about you're a comedian?
Man, no, honestly, look, like I have a funny personality and I could be cool, but honestly, bro, like comedy it has never been.
You always keep saying stuff that be funny as all get out. My boy. When you say that, that's the little tagline, my boy.
Yeah, but man, comedy never been a dream of mine. But like in my friendships, in my relationships, like
they'll see it.
Yeah.
They'll see it.
But
so you started searching money on YouTube, and it led to what?
Yeah, but let me tell you, a lot of you see, like me, I'm getting more comfortable being myself. Say like on camera, around like in organizations and just like with media. I'm getting more comfortable with being myself because I'm not trying to put on for nobody.
There it is.
So, I'm comfortable with who God created me to be. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm not ashamed of myself. And it's just, I'm not trying to put on an act.
Good. I mean, you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, but it seemed like even at the very beginning, well, I'll let you say this and we'll come back around.
Okay, yeah. But before, when I was 20, 21, 22, I was putting on too much.
Yeah.
I was trying to be too real, trying to say what I believe the media or the fans would like to hear instead of just being me.
Yeah.
So, which I didn't know I could be me.
Yep.
But God, He brought me through a lot of healing. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and just really having to face myself.
Good.
So,
good. I'm trying to let you get out so you can use the restroom. I want you to get back to where you started Googling money and you got a new age religion. What is this new age religion?
This year ain't gonna stay on hold. It ain't going nowhere until I hit that bathroom. But this year ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. But so it ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
That boy crazy. Oh shoot.
Yeah. So, but the new age religion, it led me how to attract money, and it told me like about doing rituals, and it say God is not real. God is actually the universe, the energy waves in the universe, which we call God. We reference that as God, the universe, and so pray to don't even pray. Do rituals to your ancestors. So become your highest self, and all that foolishness. So I begin to follow after that, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so let me think. That might have been Granny who came to me in my jail cell.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay. So hey man, I'm doing all I'm on a spiritual path.
Yeah.
And which I'd be like, okay, now how can you be spiritual without the Holy Spirit? You spiritual, but the Bible says that you're spiritually dead without Jesus.
Teach.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm on my spiritual path, and the internet, the YouTube, man, they saying that God is the universe and Jesus is not real. And he's like, yeah, man, that's what I've heard. My uncle is not a believer, and I know my uncle would never lie. I know my uncle would never lie to me intentionally, but so I'm listening to him like, dang, man, okay. I've never a day in my life told anybody about my encounter in jail, not until I get to the next story, which I'm gonna tell in a few. So so I'm listening. I'm like, okay. So let me tell you this. So I start going to the park, like meditating. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they teach you, to meditate. So the Bible, God, He tell us to meditate on the Word. So I'm sitting here just meditating on the air. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like think about all this. They thinking about your chakras and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
Holy Gabbana, why you say you were meditating on the air?
because I'm sitting outside on the park just, you know what I'm saying? But like just thinking about this, like my closeness with God is like this. So when I sit here and think about what I was doing, I'm like, well, I was just here doing stupid stuff, just ignorant. But let me tell you this: I had an encounter with God, but I wasn't grounded. I wasn't grounded in anything. I wasn't grounded in His Word, and I still didn't have a relationship. I had an encounter, but when I got out, I didn't come out going to church. I didn't come out with Christian friends. I still was out surrounded. I was still out surrounded by the same people. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. God says that bad company corrupts good character. So
Stupid. Why you saying you were meditating on the air?
For real, man.
So you was actually deep into this, huh? You was trying to work this out.
Yeah, man. On my spirituality.
So was there a community that you associated with that?
Nah.
So you still wasn't a part of a community. You just doing this on your own.
Just doing it on my own. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy, it's so crazy because it's like when I left the studio, I remember leaving the studio one time, and one of my Uber drivers, she was talking about the chakras and the spirituality, and I'm like, oh, so okay, the universe must be connecting me with the same people who are on the same path that I'm on.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm on the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But then she wasn't talking about how she do rituals, and when I looked at her face, she said that boy. She talking about how she do rituals. I looked at her face because I heard him because I didn't know anything about rituals, so she said it. And then I went to look it up, and then it was a correlation with the New Age religion. But my hand's sweating, but I gotta use the bathroom. But I haven't. No. I'm gonna finish saying it because it's juicy, and I want to get it out. I want to get this story out, and I hopefully I get it out before this year come out. But or can we time out and then we get back in?
Just say this end of the story and you can go.
All right, yeah. So man, she wanted to talk about ritual because she was talking about the chakras and the universe, and then she wanted to talk about how she do rituals. And when I looked at her face when she said that, I looked at her through the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror. Yeah. So I looked at her, and when she said that, I'm like, oh, she looked kind of dark. I need to get up out of this Uber. But so when she dropped me off, I went to searching it up, and then it was a correlation with the rituals and the New Age religion, and I'm like, man, this junk too dark, you know. So
you instantly thought it was dark,
bruh. Yeah, cutting up goats and you know what I'm saying, doing the star, what they call it, like the Baphomet stuff,
the Baphomet,
all that, and I'm like, dang, man. But the whole time as I'm going through this, I'm like, I had an encounter. My cellmate says it was the Holy Spirit. Yeah. But it wasn't matching up. It wasn't matching up.
That part.
But I'm like, well, every time I meditate, I do feel a little bit more strong. I feel a little bit stronger. You know, the New Age religion tell us to what's the saying? To be more of ourselves. God tell us to deny ourselves.
Teach.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
But so I'm like, but I didn't know that. I just be more of myself. Like reach my higher self. That's what they teach. Reach your higher self. God say deny yourself.
There it is.
So you see, I could see from the outside looking in, but when I was in, I wasn't. The New Age religion was all I really was practicing. Yeah. Because even when I was in jail, I wasn't practicing faith. I was just learning. And I had an encounter, but I wasn't grounded in anything. No Christian friends, no nothing.
Except your cellmate.
Yeah, except my cellmate. Yep.
All right, take a break. Go use
Yeah, excuse me, y'all, man. I had to use the bathroom, man. That thing was whooping me. But yeah, so after okay, so bet here's the good. This is where I really gave my life to Christ. Okay. So after that, just going through the whole New Age religion stuff, I see the lies all in that. I went to North Carolina to record an album. On my way back home to Jacksonville, I called my cameraman and I said, hey, bro, I just recorded my album. I'm ready to shoot some music videos. He like, I'm in Atlanta. So I'm like, bet, okay. He said, if you come to Atlanta, I got you. He'd shoot me for free. I'm like, okay, bet, because we usually shoot our videos in Jacksonville. He said, if I meet him in Atlanta, he'd shoot me for free. I'm like, all right, bet. So do you know that song, Wobble Baby, Wobble Baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, so VIC, he's been a good friend of mine. He's been a good friend of mine for some years. So yeah, him and his family showed me nothing but love. I remember when I was in LA, I was doing bad on money. He gave me one of his apartments. So like was really tight with him.
Yeah.
His wife, his brother, who record music. We've been on stage together. He's just supporting me in my journey.
Yeah.
So I call him because I know he in Atlanta. I say, bro, my cameraman is in Atlanta. I have some videos to shoot. Do you mind if I stay at your crib? And he's like, let me get back to you. I'm like, all right. He get back to me. He said, yeah, come through. He was like, I get your ticket. I'm like, no, I got it. I'm good. And then he said, okay, just let me know when you're arriving and I'll come pick you up from the airport. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get to the A. He come pick me up. Now, let me tell you this. Many plans are in a man's heart, but the Lord's purpose prevail.
Teach.
Because this is another time where I was not thinking about Jesus. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. But one man plants, another man waters. God gives the increase.
Facts.
My seed, the seed was planted when I was in jail.
Right.
This is where that seed was nurtured. When he picked me up, we get in the car. I say, bro, where your brother? His brother's Nero. He's like, why are you asking about my brother? What you mean? I specifically said, I know both of y'all. So at this time, I was 24, but it was the year I was turning 25. So he said, yeah, that's right. You do. I'm like, yeah. He said, well, he got shot. And he died.
What?
And that was my reaction. And I'm like, what? What happened? He say, well, he's at the house. And he'll tell you everything. Like, yeah, the house. He's like, yeah. So we get to his house. Like, my body is just like in shock. Cause like, I don't know how to respond. Like, I'm just stunned. Dog, I'm thinking about my music video. And the first news I get hit with is my dog died. He got shot. Like, I'm not, like, I didn't come here for all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I went to jail, I didn't come here for all this. But it's just so crazy how God just orchestrates things. He just set stuff up.
So what happened in that moment?
Man, when I get to his house, Nero come out the room, so small. He was just so small. I'm not used to seeing him that small. Like, you seen Captain America?
Yeah.
The very first one?
Yeah, of course.
And how small he was before he blew up?
Yeah.
He was like that. I'm like, bro, Nero, what happened? Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Why do you say he died?
Well, let me tell you. We get to the table. He sit down. I said, Nero, tell me everything, man. What happened? He said, well, I was in my mirror. I was serving some dyke girl which it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the story. But, you know, she was dyking.
But you say you're the comedian, remember?
I'm trying to keep the tone
of the story.
Keep it somber. The dramatic tone. The dramatic tone
of the story. Go back to your storytelling voice. Go back.
Yeah.
And so
I wasn't intentionally trying to crack a joke, but yeah, you know. I was just trying to give some good details, you know. But so he said, you know, bro, I was serving some chick, and which he informed me that she was dyking.
Yeah, she informed you.
Yeah, he informed me that she was dyking. Yeah, so he said she hopped on the phone, and she's like said something, and then she turned to him, and it's like, hey, I got somebody else who want to cop something from you, who want to buy something from you, because my friend is a drug dealer, aka plug. So he like, bet, bring him through. And man, it's just so funny. It's not funny, actually. It's just crazy how our desires blind us.
Yes.
It's like, man, you could see a bad chick and see so many red flags, but your desire to sleep with her just blinds you of all the red flags. You know, that's why I try to keep my desires rooted in God. What I tell myself, women, alcohol is my downfall. I need to keep that in check. If I don't, then I'm gonna fall like Samson.
Yep.
Like David. God restored David.
Yep.
But still,
he fell.
And I know I love women. Now that I am a man of God, I only want to love one woman. But women is still my weakness.
Facts.
Alcohol, if I drink, you know, I would make stupid decisions. So with me knowing that, I like to stay rooted in God and make sure I have people around me to keep me accountable. So, and that's all how I said all that to say, like, our desires could blind us.
Yeah. So,
you know, Job, he says he made a vow with his eyes that he would never look at a woman lustfully. He made a vow with his eyes. You know, so I try to keep myself in check with even how I look with women. That's where it'll start. If I look at her wrong, then I might fall. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Yeah. If you look at a woman lustfully, you already committed adultery in your heart with her. So it's just knowing the word of God now, it keeps me in check. If I live my life outside of God, I make so many stupid decisions. And my life goes like this. And I'm tired of my life going like this. I'm tired of living life right here.
Yeah.
Jesus died so that I could have life and have it more abundantly. I want to experience the abundance.
Yeah.
So for me to experience the abundance, I have to live life according to how he set it up.
Facts. So go back. So let's continue unpacking that story.
Yeah, I didn't forget. But he and again, to make the correlation, his desire to make money blinded him from a deadly situation. Like, he's in a dangerous situation, but he can't even see it because he's trying to get money, and get money the wrong way, selling drugs. He's like, bet, call him up, bring him through, bet, my boy. You just
called your assassin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he don't even know it.
You just invited your assassin to come see you.
Yeah. She get out the car. A dude come up and shoot his car up. Pop, pop, pop. He drive off. His mom already lost a son in the streets. He already lost a brother. He drive off. He get on the phone with his mom. And he like, Mom, I'm sorry. I just got shot and I'm dying. I'm sorry.
Oof.
And while I'm sitting in front of him and he's telling me this, he let me hear the voice recorder because he still had the voice recorder. His mama, what? You better call on Jesus, boy. Call on Jesus. I'm sitting in front of this man, eyes bug wide open. Man, I'm just shocked, bro. And remember, I was following the New Age religion.
Yep.
I had an encounter that I never shared with anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in front of him while he's telling me this. And he's like, yeah, man, I told her. I just got shot. I'm dying. And as he's telling me, you know, he let me listen to the voice recorder and I'm hearing her, oh, you better call on Jesus, boy. Call on Jesus. He's like, I called my girl. He unbuckled his seatbelt. He tried to get out the car. His arm like this. And he just looked down and said, oh, Jesus. Get out the car. All this blood just pour out. He tried to walk to the nearest house to get help. He couldn't walk. He hit his knees. He said he started hallucinating. Mama, Vic, Jesus, forgive the shooter and forgive me for my sins. It's amazing how this man extended forgiveness to the shooter first. I be thinking, and I share it, like, this is what I do. I go around and I preach. I share my testimony and I give an encouraging word to organizations, to juvenile detention centers, on the street corners. This is what I literally do. And honestly, it's been amazing for me this year. Like every week, every 2 weeks, I'm somewhere new.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm becoming more confident in what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, my testimony always been the same, and it's just with the word of God, and just becoming more experienced speaking, because I've never seen this for myself. I never thought I'd be a speaker, and I never thought I would be a Christian speaker.
That part.
So when I'm sharing this, I say, how many people, how many of y'all can extend forgiveness to the person who just harmed you, who just hurt you?
That tried to kill you.
Right. He just extended forgiveness to someone who just shot him.
First, before asking God to do anything for him.
Yeah. That was the first thing he did.
And then what happened in that moment?
His spirit left his body. This is where him being pronounced dead come in. His mom had to track his phone. Not his mom specifically, but the police and his mom had to track his phone. How long does that take?
It's a long time.
He just got shot. So let's all use the wisdom that God blessed us with. By the time the police get to him, you think he gonna be alive, breathing, or he gonna be out of there?
He gonna be out of there.
God is the same. He asks forgiveness. God say, if you confess your sins, he is faithful and just to forgive you of all unrighteousness, all wickedness. He will remember your sins no more. He said, Jesus, forgive the shooter and forgive me for my sins. So wherever he was, once he took his last breath before the police got to him, he was experiencing God.
Yep. Facts.
So as I'm sitting in front of him, we sitting face to face, and I'm just thinking about everything. He's like, man, it was just so much love. I was just overwhelmed with the love I was feeling. I'm like, what'd you see? He said, it was just so many kingdoms, so many castles. That's what he said. He said it was so many castles. He said, I don't even know if I could call them mansions because they were just so big. And he just was like, the people, I don't even know if I could call them people, but they were just loving on me as if they already knew who I was. It was just so much love. I'm like, what they look like? You was just walking around? He say, I don't know if it's walking. I was just moving. He say, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I don't know what happened because I could barely put it in words.
Yes.
I just know it was so much love, and I didn't want to leave. He say, John, I have a wife. I have a son. But where I was, I'd rather be there than be here. I say, for real? You mean that? He say, John, man, I won't lie to you. He said, wherever I was, my dad was there. His dad was a pastor. He was heavy. The crazy thing is his family is church oriented. Like, they're Christians. They was raised up Christian, and they just swayed, and it was just lost their way. You know, he called his mom. He said, Mom, I'm dying. I just got shot. I'm sorry. His mom said, call him Jesus, boy. So, you know, what if he didn't call his mom? His mom planted that seed in him to call him Jesus. And he's sitting in front of me, and he was like, John, man, Jesus is real. LT. I call you LT?
Yeah, that's what my friends call me. You just said that out the blue.
Listen.
Yeah, my homies, my boys call me LT.
When I went to Atlanta, I wasn't expecting that.
At all.
That's not what I came to Atlanta for.
Yeah.
I came to Atlanta to shoot a music video. Soon as I got to the A, my dog in front of my face.
Encounter with Jesus again.
Yes. He's like, John, man, Jesus is real. And I'm sitting there in front of him. I say, Nero, Jesus real, bro? He said, yeah. I say, bro, Jesus real, bro? He said, yeah. Nero, bro, Jesus is real, bro? I asked him like 5 times. And every time he just soft spoken. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he's real. And I'm just like this, thinking about everything. Thinking about my encounter. Thinking about the new age religion I was just following. I'm just thinking. I say, Nero, bro, tell me Jesus real, bro? He real? He like, John, he real, bro. Man, I went up to the room. I repented for my sins. And ever since then, I've been on fire. It's like, it's like the enemy tried to trick me out of my encounter. Lie to me. And, you know, when I was shooting my documentary, one of the producers was like, man, after she heard my whole testimony, she was like, man, she was crying. She was crying there, everything, but everybody was in there crying. But yeah. She was like, man, it's just so amazing. And I was wondering why you were so radical. And LT, I'm going to tell you this. It's like, I'm tired of being deceived.
There it is. There it is.
It's like I'm tired.
So how long were you caught up in new age religion?
I was in it for some months.
Okay, some months. And you started. Did you have a moment where you were like, this don't seem right?
I was questioning it every time because I had an encounter
with God. You felt the presence of love, then you automatically, going into new age. And then you were like, I'm seeing darkness here.
Yeah. So I had an encounter that I've experienced nothing but love.
Yeah.
My cellmate said, you felt the Holy Spirit. That was the encounter with the Holy Spirit. I'm out in the world.
You start Googling money.
What's the world?
Manna.
Who run the world? Like Satan is the little G God of this world.
Right.
It's the world is opposed to God.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So now it makes sense. So of course the lies and deceit is going to be glorified. Of course the lies and deceit is going to be up
amplified
here,
and bigger than anything else. Yeah.
So of course.
Yeah.
And the truth, you really have to search for it, and it's right here in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's God. I mean, God have the truth right here, but it's not, like you say, being amplified.
Yeah.
What is pop culture?
Yep.
Media. The media just criminal. They showing us like how to teach us how to be a criminal.
Yep.
Violence. So that's what everybody want to be, because that's what's getting all the views. That's
interesting. You started Googling money.
How to save money.
You Google how to save money, took you to how to manifest money to you.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
The deceit.
Yeah.
And then you started going to that, and that opened you up to new age religion.
Yeah.
So now you're over here studying this, and you said you sitting in the park meditating the air.
Yeah.
You said
meditating on air, man. Yeah, meditate. Yeah, man. But it's, but if I wanted to know how to make money, save money, steward over my finances, I should have hit the Bible.
There it is.
But I didn't know that, because God says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, his righteousness, and everything else will be added onto you.
Facts. That's the word.
If I needed anything, all I had to look at Matthew 6:33.
Yep.
You feel me? But I didn't know. I didn't know. I just went on Google. But the Bible should be our guide. Our guide. Our search tool. We should go to the Bible.
The Bible stands for, I'll never forget it, when I was like 16 years old, the acronym for Bible stands the basic instruction before leaving Earth. You know what I'm saying? Man. And we just got to look at it as such.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Nah. We go to Google.
And YouTube.
We go to YouTube. We go to friends who ignorant.
Yeah.
We go to friends for relationship advice who not in a relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So.
Let me ask you this, that we transition this. Do you want to be married?
Of course. Absolutely. Why? It's not good for men to be alone.
What do you think a wife will add to your life?
2 is greater than 1. God has given me a vision. I do have a vision. I want to make the gospel known. I believe prison is my domain. And I used to live life just chasing the pleasures of the world, man. And I've traded worldly pleasures to live a God-centered life. And I believe this generation, I'm the oldest out of like 14, they all young. And they seeking after what I was. Yep. And it's landing them in jail. It's landing them in prison. And they're looking at it as a moment. That's what I did. I was going to jail in and out, throwing my life away, but I didn't see it as that. Yeah. I was living in the moment. I'm not the only one who look at life like that. How do I know? Because I go to juvenile detention centers. Yep. And them jits smiling, having a good time. And it's good to, be in a tough situation and make the best out of it. Yeah. at the same time, it's like, my boy, you've landed yourself in here because of a poor decision that you made. And I don't want to see you continue making these decisions.
Facts.
Because this time you may have got 30 days, you may have got 90 days, but the next time you get caught, you may get 9 years.
See, I used to do a lot of prison ministry, and I used to go down to juvenile detention centers, one right off of 30, Henry Wade Detention Center. And when I say my heart will break, because when I would look at those young boys, I was like, gosh, you remind me so much of me when I was 16, when I was 15. And you be thinking you know everything, and you making some of the dumbest decisions you could ever make.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't change the switch or come to your aha moment where you change, that's going to be your life history. It's going from juvenile to jail to prison.
Right. So I believe a woman, she would just be a support factor. And I'm not going to lie, man, you know, when you have a woman who really love you and really believe in you, that brings another side out of you, dog.
Yeah.
So, I'm waiting a moment to find my other half, just to see, because God put something in her, and whatever God put in her, to make our vision, to make the vision that He has, the vision that He want to do through us, man. Whatever He want to do through us, I'm just waiting to see that come to life, dog.
Let me ask you this as I get ready to wrap up. How has your choice in women? Are you about to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And though I believe that my domain is in the jails and the prison, it's in the church too. It's in the church. It's in the streets. It transcends the prison. The church need to wake up and realize, hey, God, He have a heart for the streets.
Yes.
Jesus ain't come from the saints. He
came from the sinners.
Yeah, you feel me?
Let me ask you this. How has your choice of what you used to date in the past differ from the type of woman that you want now?
Boy. Man, I'm tired of them ignorant women. I'm tired of them cultural women. I feel like media and pop culture done brainwashed our women, man. And not all. I can't speak for all. But man, it's just those who are heavy in the media and pop culture, I feel like they live on a different set of standards than we do. Biblical people do. So
like what? Explain, break that down for a few minutes. When you see it, because your culture, like you said, is really driven by social media. Your whole career was totally based on, you said, I'm going to become famous by social media. And so when you said that they're driven by the culture, explain that. What do you see?
Like, hey man, I'm not trying to see my wife posting naked pictures all day. You feel me? When I was in a relationship and I just had a girlfriend, that was making me feel some type of way. Like I don't want to see my wife doing that. Hey, listen, babe. We in a disagreement. Like, let's handle this at the crib in private. You feel me? We don't have to make no scene right here.
Yep.
We don't even have to let nobody we beefing with each other.
Yep.
Let's handle this beef at the crib.
Yep.
I'm cool with a traditional relationship where a woman take care of the home and I take care of the bills. I'm perfectly fine with that. I want to provide for my woman, and I want to make her feel safe, feel loved. So I'm perfectly fine with traditional. But just it's no class on that side, dog. It's no class, and for me, I've been there, and I'm all about growth and development. And if she's not on that same type of time, then we're gonna be bumping heads. another thing, hey, I love you, whoever my wife is. Yep. I love you, but I don't want you to need me to feel worthy. I don't want that, because that's going to drain me. My worth is in God, and I need you to have your worth in God too.
You're teaching, King.
So it's like I've dated a girl where she just needed me to tell her she was beautiful, or I loved her all the time, and if I didn't, then it would cause problems.
Yeah.
Like it's like she needed me to feel like she was worthy, to feel like she was worthy of life.
Yeah.
And it's draining, man. It's draining, because she's looking for something in me that I can't give her.
Teach.
So it's like I can't fill certain voids. Only God can.
See, the fact that you wise enough at this age, because you're 27.
Yeah.
You're wise like this at 27 to come to that. Do you realize how powerful that is? Because a lot of times that's the opposite. Most men be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a hero. Whatever you need, I'm gonna be." But you're wise enough to say, "I can't be everything to you because I need God to be what He is for me. I need Him to be that for you."
Yeah, that's the only way. Like we'll be able to come together as a whole. So, like I love women. From all different cultures, all different backgrounds, but it's just what I'm looking for is someone who not materialistic, who's content, and of course I would want to shower my wife. I want to shower her, but if we came into a season where it's
got
dry,
some struggle, you got to be able to accept that.
Yeah, we not able to splurge or explore in this season. This shouldn't break our relationship, because the value of our relationship should never be in material possessions to begin with.
Facts.
So we might got to roll with the punches, but I need you to roll with me.
Yep.
And I need you to trust me.
Facts.
I need you to trust God.
Yep.
So, when I was saying the cultural or pop culture women, they just so attached to the material.
Yep.
And life is more than just material gain.
Facts.
When you lose that house, you lose the cell phone, you're not able to get your hair or nails done this season as much as you used to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need that to break our relationship. And honestly, like I do a lot better with stewarding over what God has given me.
Yeah.
But sometimes life happens.
Yeah.
And I have the mindset. It's the same thing as was it David who
what lost everything? What you about
with
to
the dreams? Joseph with the dreams. Hey, they had plenty one season.
Yeah,
but they had to prepare for the
7 years of famine followed by a year, 7 years of plenty.
So sometimes the famine gonna come.
Yep.
So like I don't want my woman just to be so materialistic where if a famine does come, it separates us, because nothing should separate what God has put together.
That's good, man. You dropped so many gems in this episode. I could talk to you all day. I love it. We start off a little rocky now, because you was like, and it's good that you touched on it. You said you get very defensive when it comes to talk about your past.
Yeah, I wasn't defensive, but I was just making a little joke out of it.
Oh, okay.
Because,
I was hoping you was joking, but I was like, I was like, why you keep going in circles with this? It's okay. Tell your story.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to make a little joke out of it, just because I wanted to just make it known that we all have a past. Everybody has a past.
Yeah.
And I truly look at my past, my college days, dog. That's how I experienced college, bro. Yeah.
And we all witnessed it on social media. Yeah. Before we wrap up, how did you come up with the name Holy Gabbana?
So I adopted holy from God. God is holy, and He tells all of His followers, all of His children, to be holy because He's holy. And Gabbana means a creative person. It means a creative person, and it's a designer brand. So
he's a designer brand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One of my friends was saying, ask him, is his sister Dolce?
Yeah.
But listen, it was great talking to you, brother. How can people connect with you?
So I'm Holy Gabbana on all platforms and all social media platforms, all streaming platforms, everywhere. It's Holy Gabbana. I like to keep everything simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But so you're on TikTok now. You on all those?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on.
Are you gonna start posting more?
Eventually.
Okay. Are you gonna share? I'm gonna collaborate this interview. Are you gonna post this? Because that's
I collab with you.
Because we can't be sitting up here talking for 3 hours. You don't even share it on your page. That's a slap in the face.
I collab with you.
All right.
Yeah,
Because Lord Jesus, we done had the longest interview I've ever had in the history of Dear Future Wifey.
Man, it's a good interview though.
It was solid.
I honestly enjoyed myself.
Good.
And I thank you for bringing me out here to share my testimony, to share what God has planted inside of me. To let your audience and your viewers see another side of God.
There it is.
And and just this is also healing. Being able to talk and be open about these things is healing, and it's nurturing my spirit.
See, what I love about it is I know exactly what, like, in about 10 years, people going to look and be like, you're going to be so huge in the Christian faith, because I believe that God is doing a huge transition of what, like you hit the nail on the head about what Christianity looks like. You know, no longer do you see people in churches wearing suits anymore. At first let me go back. First people used to wear robes. Preachers would wear robes. Yeah. Then it went from robes to wearing suits. Then it went to suits to wearing jeans, skinny leg jeans and polo shirts preaching. And then you see preachers nowadays preaching with jumpsuits on or whatnot. Yeah. And so it's been a huge transition. It went from church pews to the stadium chairs. Yeah. And so you are going to represent a transition to show people the face of God, because you are so unapologetic about your faith that people need to see someone, because it's not like you straddle the fence. It's not like you saying, well, no, I'm saved. And it was somebody on social media, I ain't gonna say her name, but she was saying that she looks this way, she's showing her booty cheeks all out, and she talking about, I'm able to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to do this, and still, because I'm a Christian, I'm able to do that. You don't operate. That sound like uh-oh, you finna say her name? I'm not saying her name on purpose. I'm just.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That sounds like that one famous lady.
Yes, the one famous lady. And so you're saying that
she had took all her implants off and stuff like that, right? Yeah, I forgot her name. Black China. Man, it hit me. Yeah.
Hit you.
Hit me.
It came to your spirit.
Yes. Yeah, nah, sister, that's wrong, man. I do believe that we are to represent God a certain way.
Facts.
And we're to be an example. We're called to be light in darkness. So the salt of the earth, and we do have to. It's like, yeah, you're a believer in Jesus, but what sets you apart?
There it is.
And how we dress, how we present ourselves. That's the first presentation people get to see.
Right.
So
it's the billboard.
Yeah. So we should represent ourselves accordingly. You don't have to cover yourself head to toe, but just moderately.
Moderately.
Modesty. Yeah, modesty, and appropriately, because you're representing God.
Yeah,
you're representing someone who's holy.
Yeah,
So I do believe in that. Yeah.
Well, keep representing God, man. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all give it up for my homie, Holy Gabbana, y'all.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming and blessing the Yellow Couch.
Yes, sir.
Been writing these love letters to you.
LaDarian thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, Black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, Black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While LaDarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our Black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, LaDarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young Black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical context, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm LaTerras R. Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today. Well, this was a different episode, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think it's important for us to understand what ministry looks like today, and how to be. The Bible says, "He who wins souls is wise." So it's important for us to be a soul winner. As y'all noticed, this is a different outfit than I had on during the episode. It's in the middle of the night, and so I'm editing the episode, and I said, you know what? I forgot to do a letter, and I've been seeing a lot of comments and getting emails or DMs where people, when I'm doing my on-tour episodes, we don't do a letter at the end, and a lot of y'all have been missing this, so here we go. Dear Future Wifey, from the moment our paths crossed, I sensed the start of something extraordinary. Our journey has been a beautiful adventure of discovery, growth, and unwavering love. In the beginning, we were strangers, but with each shared story, dream, and fear, our connection deepened. We celebrated our differences, built trust, and laid the groundwork for a love that would endure. We faced uncertainties, but these challenges only strengthened our bond. Together, we supported each other through highs and lows, learning that true love stands by you through every storm. As we grew, we discovered the beauty of partnership. Our dreams intertwined, and we became each other's biggest cheerleaders. Our love remained a constant, guiding us forward. Now, on the threshold of forever, I look back with immense gratitude. Every step brought us to this deep, abiding love. I'm thankful for our journey and excited for the future we'll build together. I eagerly anticipate the adventures ahead and the lifelong journey of discovering each other over and over again. Your future hubby. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving. Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.